So I want to cover some of the basics of using HTTPS and Cobaltstike combined together to kind of make it work the way you want to. So I built a script, and obviously you're going to probably read over the blog post with Egressing Bluecoat with Cobaltstike and Let's Encrypt. Like I said before, this helped me get through some pretty tough environments where HTTP wasn't getting out, and the only exfil transport that we had was DNS. So using this can be quite effective in high security environments. So let's go ahead and cover some of the basics of how to get set up and how to deploy it. So right now I just have a basic droplet, like bare bone, nothing installed. It's gonna have to go from 0 to 100 here to get this set up quickly. So let's go ahead and SSH in. So we need to get Cobaltstike. Go ahead and gonna download the trial version quickly. That way we can get up and running. All right. So make sure we have everything there. Looks like we're set to go. Like I said, this is obviously the trial. We obviously have like licenses of that sort, but this is perfect for just setting up a quick little demo. Once you're set up, I have a repo up. It's under Killswitch GUI Cobaltstike Toolkit. Just go ahead and git clone that. You're gonna have to obviously make it executable. Now, in this case, I'm going to make sure that my IP is correctly configured for my domain. All right, sweet. So make sure they match. Everything looks solid. I'm going to start the setup now. So it's going to ask you to get into your DNSA record. Obviously, this has to match the domain that's pointing to the box. Otherwise, it's not going to be properly verified through Let's Encrypt. So that's pretty simple, but got to keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and set a password that's going to be used. It has to be more than 6 characters. This is just a test. And then set up your Okay, so just encountered something kind of interesting. The key tool does not seem to be installed. This is because Java is not installed. I just kind of wanted to show you that just in case you get that error. I'll add this in later, but I'll probably go around and ensure that all those kind of things are installed. So we're gonna have to install Java, which in this case, I actually have the function in there to install Java. I just don't have it set up properly yet. So in this case, we're gonna have to install the default JRE, which seems to work perfectly fine with Cobaltstike. So let's go ahead and get that installed. All right, so let's go ahead and try to run it again. All right, so everything's going to be installed. It's going to have to set up Apache. It's also going to have to install Let's Encrypt. So I think right now it's going through the Apache install real fast. So we'll let this finish quickly. So at this point, it's actually starting to register without the email. It's starting a new HTTPS connection. It's going to ensure that you have the challenge connection with the API server, and then it's going to say, hey, yep, you do own this domain. It's good to go. It's going to build the Let's Encrypt cert. It's going to build the .pem. It's going to convert it to the PKS12 cert. Then it's going to build a Java key store from that, and then move it to the CS profile folder that's built in the script. and then it's actually going to append the correct lines that is needed in your malleable C2 profile to get running. So at this point, it seems like everything's set up. I always suggest kind of just going to make sure that the certificate worked. We could open that in a fast, let that do its thing. In the meantime, let's go ahead and go back into our Cobaltstike folder. And the next thing that I suggest you to do is, just in case you messed up or something went wrong, there could always be something that you messed up or fat-fingered, or the password is incorrect, or something weird that could happen with the script. So I always suggest you take the C2 linter and ensure that your profile is properly working. So in this case, we're going to check our Amazon profile. It's going to check. It's going to make sure all the basic transforms are correct, and then finally it's going to check to ensure that the found SSL certificate can be opened and properly imported. So now we're just going to go ahead and set up the team server just to show you an example of what the output you should see. So we're going to do the team server command, IP, test, and then our path to our malleable C2 profile, which in this case is Amazon. And in this case, it should say, hey, you are using for replication, and also I see you're using an HTTPS profile. In this case, it seems like the test is almost done to ensure that everything's correctly configured, and you should be up and running. Okay, perfect. So it looks like everything's set up. Everything looks solid. Let's Encrypt properly signed everything. Now it's time to start fishing.